What up, YouTube? This is the MAF sensor.
What are we working on?
Oh, 2011 Chevy Express 2500. This is the MAF and throttle position sensor right here. You can see it is both because it has more pins and wires going to it. And then way down here in the engine bay, right here, this is the coolant temperature sensor.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that'll show the temperature of the engine and whatnot. That's pretty much it for today.
All right, Jake, take us away.
All right, so we got a 2013 Ford Focus here with the 2-liter. It is a M14. So we're looking for the ECT sensor on this, and you're gonna find that connected off this. So right by the high pressure fuel pump, you'll see this connector here, and there is a line back here. You can see that I'm wiggling. That line actually goes around and connects all the way down here.
That's the
I
back
don't know
of
if
the
you can
sensor
see
right
it.
there.
You can see the sensor.
Right there. I'm gonna put a little arrow up for y'all just in case you missed it. What else are we supposed to find?
So we also have the intake air temp right here. So it's just connected right here through the airbox, and then it goes all the way down to your throttle body and the intake.
New car. All right, now we are in a 1999 Acura TL 3.2 single overhead cam, and we're gonna be looking at the throttle position sensor. So right here, this is I found it on All Data, our throttle position sensor. We've got 3 different wires that are coming in there: our red, black, green, black, yellow, blue. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at that.
Right over here we got our throttle body, and then here are the 3 wires.
Perfect. So we've got our reference that goes from the PCM as our red comes in, voltage here. Our yellow blue is goes back to the PCM and it kind of tells the PCM what's actually percentage of how much is open, and our green black is our ground.
All right, so we're back here, and we have back probed our ground wire, which is, we got our green wire right here, which is our ground from the diagram, and then our red is our signal. So when you back probe those two, we're getting a half volt. You got the key on? All right, so with the key on, engine off, we are getting a 0.4, around 0.5 volts. So now if we slowly push on the throttle, you'll see that number go up ever so slightly. There you go. And then we're at about 4.5 volts, which is a good reading.
All right, so now I've got ground and our signal wire voltage kind of coming in to our TV sensor, which is our green and red. And so right now, base resistance is 4.9 thousand ohms of resistance. So now we're gonna see as that changes as the throttle is being put down. So go ahead. You can see it changes. Tell them to hold it down.
You holding it?
The resistance went down to 0.88, so 800 ohms of resistance. So it kind of decreases as more throttle inputs being, so it allows more voltage to go through, which makes more sense.
Why don't you do it nice and slow?
Perfect. He's letting off. Look at that. The resistance is going up. So perfect. This is perfectly what we wanted and right into our specs. All right, so we've unplugged the coolant temperature sensor, and of course we're getting a reading of negative 38 degrees Fahrenheit. And so why don't we plug that back in and show you where it's at.
Okay, so right over here we got our ECT sensor, and I'm gonna plug that back in real quick. All right, we'll walk back over here.
Wow, look at that.
And what do we got?
It's got 113 degrees. That's right. Now let's unplug the intake air temperature sensor.
Here, and we got our IAT. If it will come off, just like that.
And would you look at that? Negative 38 degrees right there at the bottom.
Perfect.
All right, so now we have hooked into our intake air temperature sensor, and your rating resistance. It's about 2,600 ohms of resistance. And so this should change every now and then as intake temperature changes.
All right, so we got the intake air temperature sensor out, and we have it hooked up reading ohms. So he is currently heating it up, and as it heats up, it is dropping resistance.
All right, so we've now hooked into the ECT sensor, and we are comfortably sitting at 1.2 thousand ohms. So we're gonna see as we start the vehicle and as it gets to operating temperature, what the resistance will do.
All right, so right now we're at a little over 100 degrees, and our reading is 1.3 kilo ohms. And Bailey's gonna start the car, and we'll see what happens to that number once the engine gets warmer. So go ahead. You just saw it tone down a little bit in resistance as it gets warmer. Alright, so we're at about 0.4 kilo ohms, and our fans are kicked on now. We're probably close to around operating temperature.
What up, YouTube?